Okay, so because today is Friday, I have a little surprise for you. We're not going to do so many activities today. We're going to read a story together. So I'm going to read you a story. And the name of the story is A Tale of Two Feathers. Look, I'll show it. There it is. A Tale of Two Feathers. So what is the story about? What do you think? It's about, I think, about two feathers, but well, let's see what's going to happen with the feathers. Let's begin. So one starry night, Otis Owl was sitting high in the trees, hunting for a tasty mouse. Suddenly, he spotted a shiny blue feather. Look, there it is, the blue feather. Can you see it? Over there. A blue feather. I've never seen this sort of feather before, he thought. I wonder who it belongs to. So what do you think? Whose feather is it? He asked his friend, Nabila Nightjar. Have you seen any bird with feathers like this? I've never seen this sort of feather before, said Nabila. Why don't you ask Nigel Nightingale? Otis took his feather to his friend Nigel. Have you seen any birds with feathers like this? He asked. I've never seen this sort of feathers before, said Nigel. Why don't you ask Candace Corncrake? What a funny name. And look, there are small birds over there. Otis flew to see his friend Candace. Have you seen any birds with feathers like this? He asked. I've never seen this sort of feather before, said Candace. Why don't you get some rest and search some more tomorrow night? The sun was starting to rise and the night was nearly over. Otis returned to his tree and settled down to sleep. That morning, Kia Kingfisher was sitting by the river, searching for a delicious minnow. Suddenly, she spotted a stripy white feather. I don't know any birds with feathers like this, she thought. I wonder where it came from. So, look, there's another feather. This one isn't blue, but it is white. She asked her friend Wilma Woodpecker, do you know who might have dropped this feather? Look, that's Wilma. This one. I don't know any birds with feathers like this, said Wilma. Why don't you ask Billy Bluetit? Kia took the white flower to her friend Billy. Do you know who might have dropped this feather? She asked. I don't know any birds with feathers like this, said Billy. Why don't you ask Bertie? That must be Billy with the blue feathers. Kia flew to see her friend Bertie. Do you know who might have dropped this feather? She asked. I don't know any birds with feathers like this, said Bertie. Why don't you get some rest and search some more in the morning? Is that a good idea? Probably, yeah. The sun had begun to set and the day was nearly over. Exhausted, Kia settled down on a branch to rest. The sun disappeared and the forest became dark. Otis woke up, ready for another night of searching for the mysterious bird. So, who would it be, that mysterious bird? He stepped out of his nest and was met by the most unusual sight. What would he see? What do you think that Otis is seeing? Why is he so surprised? Right in front of his beak, sitting on his very own branch, was a bird with shiny blue feathers. It's you, Otis hooted. What? Who? Squeaked Kia. She stared at the bird that had interrupted her sleep. It was a bird with stripy white feathers. Oh, it's you! I've been looking everywhere for you, the two birds said at the same time. What is going on here? I see a bird with blue feathers and I see a bird with some white feathers. What are you doing out at night? Asked Kia. Well, this is when I am awake, said Otis confused. Awake at night, said Kia. But then what do you do during the day? Well, I sleep, of course, said Otis. Suddenly, the mystery was solved. This was why they had never met before. Otis had always thought that everyone slept during the day, while Kia had not realized that some animals only come out at night. Come on, said Otis. Let me show you my world. And there they go. Otis and Kia. And they've never met before. The two new friends flew through the forest, feeling very glad to have finally found each other. Whoa, gasped Kia. Everything looks so different at nighttime. I can't wait to see what it looks like in the daylight, said Otis. Let's meet again tomorrow, suggested Kia, and I can show you my world. Is that a good idea? Probably, yeah. So we have lots of different birds that we saw, yeah? And look, there is a bee, and there is a ladybird, and a butterfly, and some flowers, and a squirrel. Whoa. Who can tell me which one of these ones is an insect? Who can tell me which ones of these ones is an insect? You remember? That was the end of the story. So, do you like it? I did like the story because the both birds were trying to find a feather. They found a feather and it was like, hey, whose feather is this? I don't know. And then they start searching everywhere. But Otis was searching during the night, I think. And Kia was searching during the day. So they've never met. And then finally they've met. And then they became friends. And then they started to discover each other's worlds. Isn't that nice? Is that a nice thing to do? So you can see that they are both different. They even live on different parts of the day. But they can still be friends. So, I hope that you enjoyed this story time. And now you are ready to do some activities. Okay, so good luck and we will see each other later.